So happy New Year, friends! It's Philly. Welcome to my kitchen. Our first stream of the new year, and we are very intentional with the meal we are making today. So one of our favorite, Hubs and I love a lot of different cuisines. In fact, probably one of the things we love most, wouldn't you say, about cooking and eating in different places, especially in different cities, but even in Philly, is trying different cuisines. And Vietnamese is a cuisine that we are kind of, wouldn't you say, late to the game?
A little bit.
Little bit. And our niece actually got us interested. And one of the things I noticed right off the bat, the first time I had, and actually specifically it was a vermicelli bowl, it was I think a lemongrass beef vermicelli bowl, was that first of all, you had it and it was so satisfying, so flavorful, and yet you weren't like feeling gross and yucky after. Because sometimes when we get takeout or we eat at places, even though we love the moment, afterwards, I don't know, we're like, oh wow, that was really indulgent. And I'm sure it was really worth it. But with Vietnamese food, a lot of the stuff that we've had, it just, I don't know, you still feel good. Like it's good, fresh food, great flavors.
Yep.
And so we thought that would be a good meal to start with today. Plus,
start the new year with something like that.
Something fresh and healthy.
Yep.
Plus, I will say that in many Asian countries, in their tradition, long noodles are a sign of longevity. And so that's a New Year's tradition. And I know they have a different New Year's than we do, but I believe in many Asian communities, just the general New Year, also that is a traditional food to have the long noodles. Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
We will be using for this recipe rice noodles, vermicelli, and so we're going to be showing you how to prepare these, how to prepare a sauce that really makes this dish very Vietnamese and very flavorful, and then how to marinate the shrimp. And then you and I will get the all the vegetables because it's very veggie friendly. And in fact, I always like to make more vegetables because we like to veg up what we're eating.
And so you're gonna need me to cut things?
I'm gonna need him to cut things. So, and we know he can do that,
hopefully
right?
Not my finger.
But you had asked earlier a question that you may ask now because I really wasn't ready for it yet. For the question you were asking about something that's in the fridge, and you said, "Oh, sweetheart,
you want some wine?
I would love some wine." So we opened up this great Lambrusco yesterday that we had found a couple days ago at a great restaurant in the city called Bloomsday Cafe, and they have a wine shop, and they have lots. They very much curate. How are things doing there?
Good. You want a big glass?
Just a regular red wine glass. Nope. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So they very much are, like, we call ourselves foodies, so I guess in the wine community they'd be winies, but they're not. But they very much take care and effort into curating the wines that they offer, both at the restaurant and for purchase. And I have been very fond of, for the past few years, because a couple restaurants offer them, the dry Lambruscos. And that's why when I posted the picture on Twitter, by the way, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to our channel so that you will always be in the know of when we're having a live stream or when I'm posting any videos. But I also do a lot of interaction on Twitter at Philly Live, so be sure and find me there. Oh, and yeah, and we had, we purchased this wine, and one of my Twitter friends actually gave me more information about the winery in Italy, and it was very exciting. So this is an excellent Lambrusco. I remember my dad specifically, because my mom she didn't really like wine. I remember him having many bottles of Lambrusco when they would have dinner parties, but back then it was sweet.
Yeah, this is not.
This is a delightful wine. So it is chilled. It does have some bubbly. It's not as bubbly as a champagne or prosecco, but it has some. It's very effervescent, but it's dry and it is delicious. So if you've not had a dry Lambrusco, see if you can find it where you are. This one's from Italy, and it is delicious. So we opened it last night when we were having just our New Year's takeout pizza, but it's not like it's from a good place in the city, Pizzeria Stella. So we had this mushroom pizza with a salad because we were having friends over later. And we were making some yummy popcorn with, what was it? It was really healthy.
Coconut oil.
It was coconut oil, ghee, And then we sprinkled it with copious amounts of fresh Parmigiano Reggiano, salt, and white pepper. And it is addictive. It is so delicious. So we need to save room for that. So we did not eat a lot for dinner. But in any event, ooh.
Okay, what are we doing?
So we need to get started. So you need to keep track of the water. And actually, have you washed your hands yet?
No.
So wash your hands because I'm going to have you open up the container of rice noodles. And one of the things that we're going to be doing is soaking them. I'm going to show you the method that I use for getting vermicelli rice noodles ready. They're also sometimes called rice sticks. And what I like to do is I like to pour hot water over them, and then I'll cover it with a plate, and I'll just let it hang out for about 10 minutes, and I kind of will test it, see when it's right, and then I'll give it a good rinse, and it's ready to go for when we're ready to do our bowls. So we're going to get that started and ready just so it's ready when we are. So we're just having some water boiling over there. And meanwhile, what I'm going to get started on is I'm going to get our marinade for our shrimp, because we want them to be marinating a little bit before we cook them at the very end and put our bowls together. So the recipes are below. There's links to 2 of the important parts of our stream today that have inspired what I'm going to be doing. And the first one is the Lemongrass Shrimp Vermicelli Bowl. So I do want to get the marinade. Marinade consists of a lemongrass stalk, fish sauce, garlic, turbinado, sugar, and lime juice. So this is my home. I'm going to be real. I have never, and shoot me down, but I have never done my own lemongrass with a stalk and pounded. I've seen it done on TV, on shows. I've not done that. But in my grocery store, so you are welcome to do that. Totally welcome. I encourage you. But in my grocery store, we have this wonderful lemongrass stir-in paste. And I've used it for many recipes, and it is great. Like, it's such an easy way for me to get that lemongrass flavor without having to bang and do all this stuff that kind of intimidates me.
So the water's ready.
Oh, so then you need to open up the package and put it in that bowl.
In this bowl.
And actually, why don't you bring the bowl over here so they can see what you're doing? And just put this over here. I just need my recipe here. So while he's doing that, I'm going to squirt out some of this paste. And it says a stalk, so I'm just going to guesstimate. I probably have 2 tablespoons here of the stir-in paste. Oh, yeah, we need to know. Okay, it's okay. It's good. So I've got the paste here, and then I'm going to be getting some garlic ready. So it's going to be 2 cloves of garlic, and we're going to slice them, which you'll be happy with, because that means the garlic is not going to, it's going to kind of stay separate in a way, right?
Just put these in the bowl, right?
Just lay them in the bowl flat. Yep.
Okay.
And then you're going to just carefully pour all of that water over top of those rice noodles, trying to kind of, what I do when I pour it over is I'm careful to kind of try to get it all wet. So you just take your time, just going back and forth across all of the noodles, and you just empty that whole thing in there. And I'm just getting these garlic cloves ready. So I'm going to be slicing my garlic and putting it here with my lemongrass. Trying to get them peeled right now, and they're being a little testy. So how was everyone's New Year? So down below, if you are live, or by the way, welcome if you're live. Happy New Year to all my friends. If you are watching this when it is a video, let me know. How did you spend your New Year? Was there some yummy food that you had? For us, it was really about the popcorn, and we made some great cocktails.
Oh, the pizza was pretty good.
Oh, the pizza was very good. It was a
Pizzeria Stella.
It was a very mushroom. We love mushrooms. Mushroom forward pizza, and it was in the garlic crema, and it had like smoked mozzarella. And I don't remember. Do you remember what else there? I feel like there rosemary, maybe. I don't remember.
As much as we've eaten at Pizzeria Stella, I don't think we've ever had.
We've never had that pizza.
Which is weird because we like mushrooms a lot.
Right, but we also like a lot of their other pizzas because their pizzas are really good. So I'm just going to slice this one. Okay, so then what you're going to do is you're going to get the tongs. And I just want you to kind of gently toss them, flip it over, flip the whole thing over. How about, I'm going to try this. You got, okay. You want to be in charge. There you go. Tell the food who's boss. Okay, and you're going to kind of just gently toss them a little. This isn't super important right now. Just swirl them a little bit to get them a little bit separated. So you all see what he's doing there? He's got that hot water, and then that's fine. Now you're gonna make sure they're all submerged. So press them down so they're all under the water.
Okay.
And if it's too hot, get some, because that thing carries the heat. Oh no, I guess the edges are fine.
No, that's fine.
You're gonna carry that back over to the cutting board there.
Can I put this elsewhere?
Yeah, just put it right over there actually, because we might be using it. And then
The cutting board.
Cutting board, and then you're gonna cover it with one of our white. Actually, you know what? See that orange plate is in there? Cover it with the orange plate. Because it just helps kind of keep all that warmth in. Yep, perfect. Excellent. It will. It's good. Perfect. Nice. Do you see what he did there? He just covered it. And we are just going to check on it in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to look and see what time it is. So we'll actually probably check on it at 5:30. How about? Okay. So I've got my 2 cloves of garlic sliced with my lemongrass. And then I'm going to be adding 3 tablespoons of fish sauce. So fish sauce is something we're going to be using a couple different ways with the recipe. It's going to go in the marinade. So let me get my measuring spoon. So 3 tablespoons. Now I am making a lot of marinade for the little shrimp because we're just cooking this for ourselves. So I do not need to make this much marinade, but we're just going to do it. Okay, so 3 tablespoons. Fish sauce, if you're not familiar with it, is a very salty component that is very common in Vietnamese cooking, and it gives umami, it gives salt, and it really smells fishy. So don't let that worry you, especially if you're not a fish person, because it's like iconic throughout all their dishes, but it really doesn't taste fishy. It does, I don't know what it does. It does magic. And then lastly, we're going to be adding some brown sugar.
Did you say it smelled fishy?
It kind of smells fishy. So would you actually add to this 1 tablespoon, I'm just doing fresh tablespoon, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, please?
You said 1 tablespoon?
Yes, please. And I'm going to get this lime juice and put in there.
Just dump it in. Level it?
Please. Yes, level it. Kind of smush it in there. Yep. Brown sugar you always want to smush in. And I'm putting juice of 1 lime. This is a tough one. Go ahead. And you just use that spoon, and you're going to use that spoon to stir this around.
Okay.
I should have had you do this part. There we go.
Let me do it?
Nope, we're good.
Go ahead and stir.
Not yet. Let me just get this. And in fact, I'm going to put this over here.
Let me do that.
Nope. I'm going to do it, and then you're going to stir. Oh, this side's easier. The first side was not easy. So this is our marinade. Now you stir. We're going to need this for later, so keeping him close. Keep this here. And that is our marinade. I'm going to get out the shrimp, because we're going to be adding the shrimp to that.
Oh, really?
Move you over just a little bit. After you've mixed it, then you're going to add the shrimp, and you're going to put that back in the refrigerator, and that's going to sit. Okay. So that's our marinade. So we had it.
So I can just add the shrimp, right?
Yeah. So this actually would work for 12 ounces of shrimp.
Just put them in.
Just put them in. But I probably have 8 ounces of shrimp right there right now, just for us. So again, it's lemongrass stalk, fish sauce, garlic, sugar, and lime juice. We don't have the turbinado sugar, so we're just using brown sugar. You could just use honey or regular granulated sugar if you don't have that. So the next thing,
I'm assuming I should just submerge these.
Just submerge it. You don't need yep, it's fine. It's actually totally fine.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay.
I'll take the spoon. We're gonna put that in the fridge, just on any old thing. The next thing we're gonna do is
cover it.
What's that?
No cover.
Nope, because it's just there for a little bit. If it was going to be there a long time, I would cover it, but we're going to be getting that back out in a short time. So it does say marinate an hour, but we're not going to have an hour to do it, and it'll be fine. Because actually, shrimp and fish marinate very quickly. I think an hour is actually kind of long, personally, for something that has that much lime juice in there. So I think the shorter time is better. The next thing that I'm going to have you do is I want you to look up how to say, because I forgot to do that before we came on. This is a great sauce that accompanies many. Actually, if you buy anything, purchase anything for Vietnamese takeout, they'll usually include this sauce next to it. And what I love about the sauce is there's no oil in it, so it's very healthy. But I don't know how to say it. So can you look up this? Ngoc cham? I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. So if you could look up the pronunciation and let us know, that'd be
You're
great.
the English person, so.
Right, but I'm looking at it from an English perspective instead of Vietnamese, so I'm not sure how they say it. So I'm gonna get together this sauce. Measuring cup. I'm gonna make, so this is the link below. I'm gonna make half of this sauce because again, we're not gonna be using a lot of it for just two of us.
So hold on.
Nước chum.
Nước chum. Nước chum. I think that's what they said.
Nước chum.
Nước chum. So now I know how to say it. So it's nước chum and it's delicious. It just has like, it's got salty, it's got the perfect balance of sweet and sour and spice and all that good stuff. So in here, what we're going to do is we are going to be, let's see here, let me make sure I get everything in. So I'm just looking real quick because I'm having this. So a quarter cup of warm water. So let me get that. Do you want to just toss the vermicelli just a little bit? Sure. And I'm going to get some lime juice.
Oh my. It's like sucked up all the water.
Well, I know, that's what it does.
That's wild.
Oops, uh-oh.
Let me show people or no?
No, you can, we're going to show them later. It's fine. But it's doing what it should be. Do you want to taste one and see how it tastes? See how, oh, I just lost some lime juice. Oops, I lost some of that lime juice. That was not good. Yikes. Okay, let's see how much we got here. We have a quarter cup. Hopefully that will be, I'm going to actually just match. So what I was going to need for this recipe was juice from 2 limes. I got one, but unfortunately took out some of the lime juice that squirted out, but we should be okay. And I'm going to add a quarter cup of warm water. That. How is it?
Tastes like rice noodles.
It's shocking it tastes like rice noodles. Okay, quarter cup of warm water. How tender or not? Okay.
So you're just gonna, it's funny you tell me to taste it and then you just go over and do it.
It's ready. I wanted to make sure it was ready, sweetie. So now our noodles are ready. It's hard to tell really when they're gonna be ready, but what we need to do next is we need to put cold water with them so they stop the cooking. So what we're gonna do is get this big old thing. Can you move that away?
This?
Yes, please. Thank you. Pardon. So I'm just gonna drain these.
You do that?
No, actually I'd rather do this. And I'm just rinsing it with cold water. You wanna give them a good rinse. You want to stop the cooking. And these can stick. And then I'm going to actually add some water once they're in this bowl. Not a ton, a little bit, just because I don't want them to stick. Yeah, they're pretty warm, so I just want to give them a good rinse. There we go. Okay, they feel pretty good. Just gonna put them back in. Back in. I'm gonna add a little bit, keep this handy. I'm gonna add a little bit of water because I just don't want them to stick. We're gonna let these hang out until we're ready for serving. And then when we're getting close, we'll actually drain them because we don't want them super watery.
Okay.
So these are gonna stay right there. All right, so back to our sauce. So for let me just tidy up because I got lime juice everywhere. So we added our lime juice and our water, and the next thing we're going to be doing is we're adding the sugar. So you could add 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar for this recipe, or maple syrup. I'm going to use the maple syrup. So I'm just, actually, could you get that open? And we're also going to be needing some rice vinegar and some fish sauce.
Oh,
is that good?
It smells good.
Yes. Put 2, let me see what they have here. Yeah, 2 tablespoons. You could use agave, you could use a simple syrup. Again, you could use brown sugar. Like, you can really be.
I'm surprised that it
Put
would
that on
be
there.
maple syrup.
It's just this recipe.
Okay.
And then 2 teaspoons of rice vinegar. So I'm going to need my other thing. Just a second. 2 teaspoons of rice vinegar, which is a vinegar common in Asian cooking. As you can see, we use a lot of it because I don't have much left. I think I've got some more in the pantry, but we'll be fine. Rice vinegar is great for light salad dressings because it's not super vinegary tart. It just it isn't as aggressive as other vinegars, so you don't need to add as much oil when balancing it. So it's just a great all-purpose vinegar. Like, you don't just have to use it for Asian cooking. I love rice vinegar. And then some fish sauce. So we're adding some more of that fish sauce. Because remember, that gives saltiness, it gives unami.
It smells like fish, right?
It does. But it is the iconic flavor.
Shocking.
And 3 tablespoons. Okay, now the fun stuff. Oh, shoot, you know what I just realized I did? I added way too much. Uh-oh. So I have the recipe, but I didn't have those ingredients. Uh-oh.
Which one?
Everything except for the water and lime juice.
We'll start over.
Oh, we really can't. We don't have enough lime. So, well, this is what happens in cooking. I wasn't paying attention. And so I'm going to taste it and see how it tastes and see what we can do to balance it. So I'm going to get a little spoon. I know what it's supposed to taste like. Now, the good news is that the flavors of the sweet, the salty, and the sour, those are all in the right proportion. The main proportion that's off is a little bit of sour for the lime and the water. So let me see. And we haven't added other important components yet of it, but I apologize, friends. It's actually not too bad. It needs a little more sour, so I'm going to add a little more rice vinegar because we're going to have so much lime. And I'm also going to add a little more water. So this is life. It happens, right? Oh my gosh, we have friends. Mario, welcome. So glad you joined our stream. So happy New Year, Mario. What are you doing today? Are you doing any cooking or just laying low today? I'm going to add some more water. And thank you for saying hi, by the way. Okay, so this is our nokcham that we are making. And this is the solution. I messed up a little bit when I was making it because I was paying attention to the stream more than I was what I was doing. So that is the liquid part. And now the fun part that you add are the add-ins. And so for the add-ins, one of the things that I'm going to be putting in there is some carrots. We'll be using carrots in our bowls as well. So what I want to do first is I want to peel them of just their skin there. So I'm just going to peel them. Laying low. Well, that sounds perfect. I think laying low is in order. And frankly, we laid low all day. And then Hubs made the mistake of watching our Philadelphia Eagles play. And, well, it's a good thing I got him on stream because he was not in a very happy mood because it did not go well in Philly today. And actually, our son and our son's wife was at the game. So I feel badly. I think there were a lot of disgruntled fans leaving the game there. But hopefully his mood will change after we cook this yummy meal. So is there anything traditional, Mario, that you and your family cook for New Year's? We don't really have anything in particular traditional, but we're cooking this because we like it. It's healthy. We've been like really overindulging on a lot of food, and this just sounded really good for New Year's Day. Plus the whole Asian idea of the longevity and the noodles of having a long noodle. So I just peeled my carrots. Yes, absolutely.
I really don't know how the rest of it.
None of us do, right? We're just all hoping for the best. And then one of my favorite gadgets, Mario, is this gadget that juliennes whatever you run it across. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just julienne some carrots and I'm going to add them to our nokcham. And that's one of the ingredients that's going to be going in. So I'm going to do that first. And it looks pretty. It adds a little bit of flavor. Carrots have sweetness. But I really think most of it is just for looks and color, to be honest. So we don't need a lot. So I'm just going to do that, and I will be giving you something to do soon.
Okay.
But right now, I just need you to hold tight for a sec. But thank you for what you were doing before. So I'm going to add some of those just to our mixture here. You can see our mixture. I'm going to leave it here so y'all can see it. But what's really important to add to this mixture is we want to make sure we add the heat element. And we like heat. So this is, again, where you can make your decision of what is good for you and your taste. So that's one of the things we like to add. Another thing I would like to add is some garlic because it adds flavor. But the last thing is a pepper. Now, I could not get a Thai chili pepper, so I got a serrano. So the serrano will add some heat.
So that's what you're going to have me do.
And oh no, I'm going to do the serrano. I'm not going to ask you to do that because I'm worried that you would rub your eyes. Yeah, and that would be because you have to be so careful when you're dealing with jalapenos or any hot pepper because if you touch your eyes, it's over. So I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to give thin slices, and I'm going to add them to my is it nok cham? Nok cham, I think, right?
Hold on, we'll do it again.
It's all right.
No, we're gonna figure it out.
Oh, I can like smell the heat of this.
All right,
I can smell it.
Listen. Oh, I turned on a time.
Add some of these. These are going in here. Nok cham. There we go.
Okay.
All right, so I've added those serrano slices. You could add more. This is a lot of nok cham, and I don't think we're going to
it smells good,
be using it all. So I'm actually going to take some of these and put them in a smaller container so it can flavor it better for our purposes. So let me get one of those new bowls that you got me for Christmas that I appreciate. So we're going to put this in some of here, actually. There we go. Thank you, dear. Some of those carrots in there. We'll get some of those peppers in there. And I'll show you how
a lot of peppers in there.
It just really looks beautiful, too. Now, I could put garlic slices in this for the garlic component. What I actually like to do, because no one really wants to have, I'm putting all this in there because I really want to flavor it. Remember, this is what we add. Remember at the bowls at the end, we add this to it that helps flavor to our liking.
So this, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about that.
So this is what we've done. See that, friends? It's a beautiful mixture that we're going to be seasoning our rice bowls, our vermicelli bowls at the end. So we need some garlic. I'm going to be using, a lot of you know I love this garlic paste that we can get at the grocery store. So I'm just going to be adding some garlic paste to both.
Mario said, I'm telling my mom about this recipe. It looks good.
Oh, thank you, Mario. It is good. It's and you know what? At the Vietnamese restaurants, they have all different kinds of protein you can use in these vermicelli bowls. It's up to you, it's your choice. We have actually a lot of times done the beef, the lemongrass beef.
Yep.
But the shrimp is nice because shrimp are just naturally lower in calorie. And so, yeah, so that's what we're going to do. So I've got my garlic paste in here, and I need to smush it a little bit because it's not.
Do you want me to do that?
Sure. Yeah, just try to smush that, and then try to smush it in there too. So you work on that. We put my fish sauce away, and now what we're ready to do is get our stuff prepped for the bowls. So the bowls involve a lot of vegetables, a lot of fresh vegetables. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to make a plate. I'm going to bring this yellow plate over that we use for covering our noodles, and I'm going to be creating a lot of options for us to sprinkle on our bowls to make them healthy and delicious. And one of the things I'm going to continue doing is making these wonderful slices.
This is going to be so hot.
Juliennes of carrots, because carrots are wonderful in these vermicelli bowls. And there's a raw. You keep these raw. You don't cook them, so they give a great crunch. And then I'm going to hand this to you.
Okay.
And you're going to just cut them in half and then put them on the yellow plate.
That, I think
whichever knife you want.
I'll take that one.
Okay.
It's better to give me small knives.
Well, and they're both sharp, which is good, because it is better to cut with sharp knives.
Just put them on the plate.
Just
cut them in half.
Yeah, kind of keep them all together. We're going to keep all of our little components together.
That
so
I
we
remember,
can,
actually.
Yes. And then we're going to be making our bowls together, right? And we can kind of decorate them how we want.
Yep.
There we go. And I love the carrots, so I wanted plenty of carrots. Okay, so I've got the carrots here.
Same thing?
Same thing, yeah, just cut them in half. I'm gonna actually take some of this, was it spring mix? Spring mix is great to also use in the vermicelli bowls, so I'm gonna put some of that there. Again, it almost makes like a noodle salad, which is very yummy. Oh, and I have a good job for you when you're done with that.
Okay. I'm done.
So, and you can put any of those extras just right there if you want. So we're gonna sprinkle some peanuts on there. These are some roasted peanuts, and so I want you to crush them a little bit. So I'm gonna put some in this brown bag that they went in, and I just need you. I don't need too many. I'll keep them there for you to snack on.
Good.
And so just get that wooden mallet, and you don't want to make peanut butter, but just kind of tap the wooden one, honey.
Beat the living hell out of them?
No, I don't want you to beat the living hell out of them. I just want you to kind of, you can pound and use the flat side, pound a little bit, and then heat, because we just want them a little bit crushed. They don't have to be crazy crushed. Take a peek. This is a baby cucumber, and I'm going to be making ribbons with a peeler, just to make lovely ribbons that we can add. Sorry for the noise.
This is fun.
Just making these ribbons, these cucumber ribbons.
Okay, that's good. What do you want me to do with
and then just tuck them like right there. So you don't have to have your vegetables look this way. If you want to be less fussy, you could just cut them. You could, you know, cube them. In this cucumber, you could just do it in halves. It just, one thing that's kind of nice with their cooking is everything's beautiful and picturesque, and we eat with our eyes, so that part's kind of cool. I'm going to take away, even though the mini cucumbers, their skin is very tender, I'm going to take away some of the ones that have a lot of skin. I'm just going to kind of get these ribbons tucked away over here, separate them a little bit so they don't stick all that much. There we go.
Do you want me to do anything with the noodles?
No, the noodles are good until we're ready. Eventually we'll drain them, but they're not quite ready to be drained. We'll drain them, leave them draining when we get the shrimp.
Gotcha.
And then lastly, we have radishes. You could use a purple radish. These are just typical red radishes. And you could use a peeler, you could use the julienne thing, but I find it's just easier to just try to do like nice slices with them, and then I julienne it after I do my slices. Because actually I like a little bit of the bite. You could just leave these as slices, but I kind of want to enjoy a little bit of radish with all of my bites, so I prefer to julienne mine, because then I get a little bit everywhere. And then to do this by hand, if you're julienning, you just want to gather all your slices together like so, put them in a pile, and then you just go down one way and just make them slices.
So that's what you do.
Yeah. But carrots are super hard. Like they're very crunchy. Right. So it's a little bit harder. You can do them with carrots, but I just think it's a little bit harder doing with carrots. So I'm just going to move these over a little bit more. How'd you eat from that one?
I was.
Oh, I thought you were. Okay. I'm going to do one more radish because I do like the radishes. We won't need 3. So again, all you do is you just slice, and then you slice the other way. Do you want to get the shrimp out of the fridge?
Yep.
So we're almost to that time. So the shrimp has been marinating in that, and again, the recipes are below that we're using today. The shrimp has been marinating in the lemongrass marinade that we made, and you can put it right over there instead, actually. Just, yeah, perfect. So we have our radishes, we have our spring mix. Let's see all the yumminess we've got there. The last thing I think I was going to do, I was going to have you do, was the green onion. Okay. So would you be able to, I'm going to wash some green onion, and then I'm going to, you can put this fella back. I'm going to tidy you up a little bit here so you have room to do the green onion. Got a lot going on here. One sec. And you know what? I want to just taste this and see if we need to take some of these serranos out, how spicy this has gotten. Oh, that's awesome. It's not too spicy. It's perfect.
Can I taste?
Why don't you grab a new spoon? Because those were the ones we used. It is very salty, so we'll have to keep that in mind, because I think it is a little bit off of the, you know, because of I didn't quite make it the right way.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't think it was too spicy.
No, it's good.
You like?
Yeah, I do.
Put that away. So, I'm going to get you some spring onions.
Okay.
I would use the bigger knife with that. And you're just going to slice them and then put them on that white paper towel right there.
I'm going to slice them how?
But you're just going to make little, slices. I'll show you in a second. Oh, I'm going to use this paper towel for a second to dry these.
Okay.
That there. I have to take these off first.
Well,
you're going to be getting it, sweet. Trust me. I'm going to let you do this.
I know what to do.
I know, but I have to do this first.
And cut everything else.
Yep, just cut everything. Wait. Yep, cut everything. There you go. Go at it. Okay. All right. So he's doing that.
And
as thin as you can. And you don't have to do it fast. Just take your time. All right. So we have our nuoc cham. We have our vegetables that we're going to be adding to the salad. He's working on the green onions, which will be lovely. I'm going to put this here because we don't need this right now. I didn't realize there's something really sticky. I think that might have been the maple syrup, babe.
What's that?
I think some maple syrup got on the cutting board. It's a little sticky on one end. You'll see it when we're cleaning it up. And the next thing we're ready to do is start getting our shrimp cooked. So first I'm going to get our noodles drained so they aren't too wet. Because as you know, we put boiling water over them until they were tender. Then we rinsed them well with cold water. I left a little cold water in there so they wouldn't stick. And now I'm putting them through the colander so that we can get all of that water out. I want to kind of shake them a little bit, and you'll see some of them start to come out from the bottom. But you really want to try to get some of this water out. There we go. Excellent. Okay, so we'll let those drain. I'll put them in the bowl so they can finish draining over that bowl. There, so those are ready to go. I'm going to put this here because I think we're done with those. Tidy up a little bit so we have a place to put the bowls when we make them. In fact, let me get that too because the shrimp will cook super quick. Let me get our bowls ready. I'm going to use this because I think these bowls, so you can use any bowl. I think a cereal bowl is going to be a little small for these rice bowls. These are really wide bowls. We have another bowl that isn't quite as wide that would also work, but you'll see why that I kind of, so you could use a bowl like this. If you don't have bowls this size, just use a plate. A plate would work just fine.
We have all kinds of bowls.
His wife has a bowl fetish, right?
You do. I just bought you more bowls for
I know,
Christmas.
I know. So we're gonna get the shrimp ready. So let's get our, so I'm gonna get the camera on. Oh, Mario is saying, my mom likes me to have lots of vegetables. Yeah, they're good for you. Wonderful. You should do with your mom. That's wonderful. I cook with my son Matt sometimes, and it's wonderful to cook with family. I think that's a great thing, Mario. I'm so glad you came on. And tell your mom I said hi.
All right.
All right. So now we've got our pan over here. I'm going to get it on so it can get warm. And here we have our shrimp that had been marinating. And actually what I do want to do with this, one of the things I'd like to do is let these dry a little bit, because the shrimp are quite wet in there. Let me get a couple of these napkins that are great for that. Let me get a slotted spoon. Okay. And then you can use any oil that has a high smoking point. So I'm going to use grapeseed oil, olive oil. You could use olive oil. I usually would say save your olive oil for a lower cook. Like I want to sear these. I want to get these pretty hot. I'm actually not trying to save all the garlic. The garlic's fine, but because the garlic's just going to burn in the kind of heat that I'm going to be doing. So I'm just going to dry these off a little bit. There we go. Watch out. And then what I'm going to do, Shelby's got to move, is I'm going to get my little spray thing that I have. And so you don't have to use a spray, you could just drizzle, but I don't need a lot of oil, so I'm just using my spray on my pan of grapeseed oil. Okay. And then I'm just going to flip my shrimp here. Listen to that sizzle, that's what you want. And these are going to cook up super fast.
It's not working on the camera there.
What's that?
It's not working on the camera.
Uh-oh, it isn't working on the camera. Okay, let me see.
Bye, Maria.
Let me see here. Let me try opening it up again. Let's see. Oh, friends, I'm sorry. It is not working. It looked like it was working. Let me make sure this is set up. Just a sec. Oh, there they are. They came up. Wow. Matt would be so impressed that I was able to fix
Mario
that.
had to go.
No worries. All right, so friends, next we're gonna flip these. Again, they cook in they are almost done. These just get flipped real quick. And I'm actually going to turn off the heat because the remnant heat will cook them. They will be done. So let those hang out for a minute and finish cooking. And then we can get our bowls assembled. So babe, do you want to come get the bowl assembled? Yep. All right. So, okay, let's get our noodles.
Okay.
We'll get the tongs. Thank you. All right. So this is all to your taste. Like you're going to make these bowls how you want. So you put however much of the rice noodles that you.
That's quite a noodle.
In the middle, and I like putting them kind of in the middle. I'm going to get a little bit more because I'm hungry. I'm probably doing too much, but I don't care. There you go. Okay. And then you're going to be putting all of your ingredients around. So I'm going to take my lettuce and tuck it right over there. I like a lot of lettuce. I'm going to take some of my ribbons and twirl them. Have them look all nice and pretty. Over here.
So you go on the side there.
Mm-hmm. Eventually I'll be mixing it all together, but first is all about the presentation, okay. Right? Okay, so can you move that over there, yep. The whole thing, so that's not in the way, so people can see what we're doing. There we go. And then I'm going to take some of my radishes, put them here. Just want it to look pretty. And take some gorgeous carrots.
You're going to film yours, not mine, right?
We'll eat from yours. And then I'm going, and put the onions right there. I'm going to save the peanuts for the top. Oh my gosh, I forgot the most important thing. Mint. Mint is an important herb in a lot of the Vietnamese cooking. So
take your word for it.
When you'll recognize it when you taste it. So I'm going to just take some mint leaves off of here. I've already washed these. I'm just going to tear some off. And I'm actually just going to kind of drop them throughout. Make it look nice and pretty. I love the mint.
You love mint?
Well, I do love mint, but I love it especially in Vietnamese cooking. It's just, there's something about the flavor that just gives it this freshness
You like it in mojitos.
I do like the mojitos too. Of course, that's not Vietnamese whatsoever, but.
Yeah, but
All right, so then you've got your bowl looking like this, okay? And then I'm gonna go over, actually I'm gonna bring the shrimp over. Are you all set with this besides the peanuts?
yeah, I think so.
Okay, so why don't we do this? I'm just gonna, like that, I'm gonna put this over here. I'm gonna grab the shrimp.
I didn't do mint, so.
Oh, you need to just go through with the mint, tear some off.
Okay, I wasn't
Bring
paying
it towards
attention.
you. And put the shrimp on. Divvy these up. I'm putting those in the middle because they're the star.
So just like kind of let it rain with
Sure.
mint. Oh, my hands smell good now.
I know. Doesn't it smell good? All right. So I'm going to add just a little, I'm actually going to put some of my mint right on top there, and then we're going to take those peanuts and we're going to drizzle them all through. Delicious. Very nice. Excellent. So you can see how that looks. Look at all the, oh, I'm going to turn this off 1 second. You can see that bowl. Look at the gorgeousness. And most of the bowl is vegetables, then the noodles, and then some shrimp, the protein on top.
Okay.
Now, the fun part then, let me put this back over here. I'm going to get some chopsticks. Now, you don't have to use chopsticks. It's not a requirement.
It's not?
But that's actually what we usually use. We usually use chopsticks. And then this is the sauce that you want to add and drizzle over top of your vermicelli bowl. Do you mind if I put some on?
No, actually, yeah.
Okay. So, and you just drizzle. Some of those peppers on there. Let me get some just to the.
Awesome.
There we go. And then we'll taste it. So I'll do mine after. So shall we?
Yep.
I'm just gonna go in, and I'll give you one of my shrimp later. Okay. So I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna get some shrimp. I'm gonna get a couple of carrots. There we go. I'm gonna get a piece of lettuce. Oops.
You're not gonna give me a shrimp, are you?
I'm gonna give you a shrimp. Oh, I need to get a radish. I want to get I want to get the perfect bite. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get the.
I'm just gonna do this with my hands.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to get the cucumber with it.
No, I'm definitely getting a cucumber.
There we go. I'm gonna put my fingers with the radish.
Look at that.
Okay.
Look at that.
Mmm. Mmm. It's light. It's fresh. This is why you don't feel yucky after eating one of these. It's like a noodle salad. And the spice you can accommodate to your likes. And it is absolutely delicious.
No, it's great.
Yes. So enjoy. Let us know if you try this recipe or try other ones. Like I said, you can do lemongrass beef, lemongrass shrimp. You can do, and they have all different kinds of marinades. It doesn't have to be lemongrass, but it's really delicious.
Yep.
No matter what you choose.
It's awesome. All
right. So Happy New Year, friends. I am dropping the schedule. So for those of you who are subscribed, my schedule is, I posted it on my community tab because I wanted to give you guys the first dibs to see it. I'll be posting it on Twitter tomorrow. And I also put it on my channel under About. So, so check it out, see what's ahead. I've switched things up a little bit. One of my New Year's resolutions is to have more balance in my life. So I found that as much as this fall was fun, streaming twice a week, it was a lot. So I'm streaming at least once every week, and a couple of weeks we'll have twice, but it's kind of all spaced out. So, and that way then if there's something that I want to share, I could do an impromptu stream, but then I've got more balance, which I know you'll appreciate.
I do.
So anyway, so Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Enjoy whatever you're eating today. Thank you for joining. Please like and subscribe. And please find me on Twitter. And until we eat again, Cheers. Did you have a drink?
Cheers.
No?
Well, let's have it. And don't think I'm gonna forget about that shrimp.
Don't get the shrimp. Wait, no, I got the picture.
Ah.
All right.